We're back at Walt Disney World, specifically at Disney's Animal Kingdom, the wildest park in the Disney World. And look at this, even at Animal Kingdom, it's Christmas time. In fact, before you even enter the park, look at this. Kablam! They've got their huge Christmas tree right out front. Every park at Walt Disney World has got a massive Christmas tree, but to see them at Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios or Epcot, you gotta go into the park. Here at Animal Kingdom, they hit you with the Christmas tree before you even enter through the gate. And of course, because Animal Kingdom is all animal themed, all wilderness themed, and African themed, and Asian themed, just sort of all around the world nature themed, check out the unusual Christmas decorations. Look at these giant toys here. You got an alligator xylophone, lots of African and Asian inspired ornaments, a lot of African animals here on this tree, and like rain sticks or didgeridoos. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool to see a sort of African or like world music themed Christmas tree like this. Noticing a plethora of Disney characters down here at the bottom. Lots of things made from sticks, a lot of fake fruit on the tree, which I've noticed is sort of a running theme for the Disney World Christmas decorations. I think I've seen a Christmas fruit basket and a Christmas pineapple in every single park. Look at this, a Tigger Jack in the Box. There's Piglet over there, Jiminy Cricket. Well, I guess wherever you are, you've got to have a Christmas tree. Santa delivers all over the world. Oh, and look at this over here. We're still outside the gates, and look at this. They got a big old Christmas photo op going. Yes, sir, the holiday season is inescapable. That's kind of a cool woodsy sort of naturey photo op. And of course, there's all kinds of garlands and ornaments hung up out here. In general, Animal Kingdom doesn't usually go wild with Christmas decorations. And even though it has Pandora back over there, which is supposed to be sort of a glow-in-the-dark land, it always closes the earliest out of any of the Disney parks. So not that much opportunity to see Christmas lights anyway. I do like this mix of sort of typical North American Christmas pine-looking garlands with kind of tropical flowers on them. That's pretty cool. I guess they have to hit you pretty hard with Christmas at the front before you walk through the gates and then just experience wild jungle-like plants. Oh my gosh, and the scariest thing ever at Disney World. It's Divine, the walking vine slash plant creature that blends into the foliage here and towers above everyone on her long stick-like legs. It's like the world's greatest ghillie suit. She blends right in. I mean, I spotted her right now because there was a big crowd of people gawking at her and looking at her. Keep her away from the children, though. It's just, I don't know why, she's just terrifying to me. It doesn't help that I've walked into the park before where nobody saw her because she was standing still and then suddenly moved right next to me. It doesn't help that she's supposed to represent some sort of nature spirit. Not a big fan of spirits, although I do appreciate that she's an original idea and not, you know, some kind of Disney IP right there. It is those special things that aren't tied into anything else that tend to make a theme park experience, you know, feel special and unique, which is exactly why I love Animal Kingdom itself, right? It's so different from any other park. And I don't just mean Disney park, any theme park. I mean, in most of it, it doesn't feel like a theme park at all. And even though it's part zoo, it really never feels like a zoo either. It's just its own strange, weird thing. Anyway, if we love it so much, we better get into it, right? Oh, here we are. Welcome to the weirdest park. Oh, look at this flying around the Tree of Life. It's a couple of members of the Merry Menagerie, the group of strange white holiday-only puppets that appear here on Discovery Island in front of the Tree of Life. They've got all kinds of characters, all different types of animals represented out here. I'm sure we'll see more of them later on throughout the day. And it's weird because the majority of the soundtrack you're hearing is coming through the speakers pre-recorded, but they have a steel drum player out here. Every once in a while, a violinist is playing along live to the music. I definitely don't traditionally associate steel drums with Christmas music, but somehow at Animal Kingdom, it just works, and not only works, just makes sense. All right, behold there, dead ahead of us, the Tree of Life. That's the biggest tree at Walt Disney World, 145 feet tall, 50 feet wide at the trunk, 165 feet across at the canopy, 100,000 artificial leaves, and covered with somewhere between 320 and 350 animals sculpted into its roots, branches, and trunk. That tree is so massive and so eco-friendly, they actually recycle part of an old oil rig to construct it. Kind of seems like a weird symbol for a theme park, a giant tree, but again, at Animal Kingdom, it just makes sense. And what a nice symbol, right? The Tree of Life, just don't eat the fruit. Now, for those of you who've never been out here, that tree is so big, there's actually a theater built into the base of it, where they used to have a Bugs Life themed show called It's Tough to Be a Bug, which they also once had at Disney's California Adventure. That show actually closed in March of this year, but look at this, just 8 months later. Whoa, look at this. They're doing the parrot show over there on Discovery Island. The new Zootopia show, Better Together, is already up and running. And as you can see, it's a very popular choice. It only opened up about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. So I have yet to check it out myself, but if I have time today, I will certainly do that. Look at this over here at the gathering spot next door. You got Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps meeting and greeting with all the guests. That's the fox and the bunny from Zootopia. And by the way, you might see a few parrots flying by because they're doing the parrot show over here in front of the Tree of Life. That's why you see so many people passing by right now. It just ended. But before we also leave this area, real quick, it's hard to see the lighting elements here in broad daylight, but you can see Discovery Island is in fact all decked out for Christmas. The sort of design style, the theming of it kind of matches the Merry Menagerie out here. And there are, by the way, Merry Menagerie style puppets for sale. Oh, as well as Merry Menagerie Christmas ornaments. Oh my gosh, and a t-shirt and even a spirit jersey. Oh, hold that thought because behind us, look at this. Here comes some characters from the Merry Menagerie. Hey, how's it going? Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh.
Is she pretty?
This is all of the other reindeer.
There's a Mickey on her too.
There's a hidden Mickey where? Oh my gosh, there it is.
Her birthmark, I guess.
Her birthmark, they thought of everything. All of the other reindeer. Thanks, Trey, thanks. But you can see why they're popular. Look how cute these things are. It's weird what a simple idea it is, and yet it's just so popular. They've got reindeer, there's a big polar bear that comes out sometimes, the Arctic fox, and of course the big penguins, the baby penguins. It is pretty awesome. The weird thing is if it was located anywhere else, you wouldn't expect t-shirts and spirit jerseys and merchandise. But it doesn't matter what it is. If it's located at Disney World, it becomes iconic. People will get attached to it, and there will be merch. Okay, anyway, I was distracted by the Merry Menagerie and all the baby penguins there, but what I was gonna show you is all these Christmas decorations. It is indeed decorated for Christmas, and all of these weird animals up here are actually lanterns, so at night they all light up with little flickery candle-like bulbs inside. I mean, they're gorgeous. And the only reason I'm taking so much time on this and bringing all this up is because I think that the design of all this stuff is actually genius. Like, how do you take Animal Kingdom and then make Animal Kingdom appropriate Christmas decorations that are gonna look like they blend right in? If it was left strictly to me, my answer would have been, I have absolutely no idea, but somebody has done it. I don't know what artists or Imagineers were responsible for this, but they managed to mix just enough American stereotypical Christmas with this amazing, unique, one-of-a-kind style that visually you know exactly what holiday you're celebrating, even though really it's unlike any other Christmas decorations you've ever seen. Anyway, even though we're trying to go full Christmas here at Walt Disney World this month, these unique Christmas decorations are not the reason that I came in to Animal Kingdom today. The main reason I came to Animal Kingdom was just to check out the scene and the progress and all the changes being made to Animal Kingdom, because it's not just the Zootopia show. A huge chunk of this park is being transformed. Oh my gosh. If you don't come here often, maybe you can't tell, but right away I can see things have changed a lot in the last 5 or 6 months since I've been here. Behind the sign for Dinoland USA, looking across the bridge, it's not what you see, it's what you don't see. There's a massive hole in the foliage over there, and all you can see is a giant crane. No more dirt and rock cliffs, no more bridge, no more giant dinosaur skeleton for the entrance. Dinoland USA has gone extinct. Look at this, the whole entrance to Dinoland USA has been obliterated. From the top of the bridge, you can sort of peer over into the void. You can see new construction is going up, but more importantly, you can see almost all of Dinoland has been erased. I'm actually really surprised that even this little trilobite stand is left standing here, because right here, just the last time I was here, only a couple of months ago, this looked like this. It has been totally transformed. Dinoland USA basically exists now in name only for the couple of remaining attractions, because of course it's being transformed into the tropical Americas. I mean, in the rest of Animal Kingdom, you've got Africa, you've got Asia, you've got Pandora. The whole Dinoland idea was very interesting, but a tropical America, now that makes sense. Now Africa's got a safari with elephants, giraffes, they've got gorillas back there. The Asia section's got Bengal tigers and giant bats. I don't know what kind of animals they're going to have in the tropical Americas section, but in terms of rides and attractions, they are building some exciting stuff. When you enter the new land, you'll be coming through this village here, this jungle village called Pueblo Esperanza. There's gonna be a new merry-go-round with carved wooden animals. The Casita from Encanto is gonna be an Encanto-themed dark ride, and then the ride dinosaur that's still here, by the way, and still open is going to become Indiana Jones, and Restaurantosaurus is going to get rethemed as sort of a hacienda-style restaurant. And geez, other than the bones of Dinosaur the Ride and the skeleton of Restaurantosaurus, this land is going to be completely different from the old Dinoland USA. And every single person I've heard walk by this sign has said something like, oh, that's gonna be awesome. This is one of the less controversial changes Disney has come up with in recent years, and one that I absolutely fully support. It's gonna be awesome. Don't get me wrong, as corny as it was, I always loved Dinoland USA. I mean, in the first place, it represents a part of the country where they dig up dinosaur fossils that is rarely, if ever, represented in sort of theme park theming. The cheesy sort of carnival ride part of Dinoland USA wasn't always my favorite, but I loved looking at it, especially the giant concrete dinosaur that used to be right here where we're looking. Concretosaurus is replaced by dirt! And even though it was never the most popular ride at Walt Disney World, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Dinosaur, the attraction itself, not our dino. It's one of those rides, I wouldn't call it bad, but it had sort of that quality of it's so bad it's good about it, you know what I mean? Like, even though the ride vehicle system was very similar to Indiana Jones they built at Disneyland in roughly the same era in the 90s, somehow Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye at Disneyland in California still feels current, still feels fresh, where Dinosaur the Ride here, even though it's built on the same system, always felt very of its time, very 90s, very dated, which in and of itself was always kind of fun. So you look at this little strip of highway here, all that's left of that original dinosaur highway theming. We're walking right through what used to be the sort of center of Dinoland USA. Now all it is walls. We are 150% in the Walt Disney World era. Where we're looking now, you would have seen that old big concrete dinosaur right there. This was all the Chester and Hester sort of carnival area, looking back towards the back of the land there. All of that is gone now. Nothing is visible except the roof of the old gift shop, which apparently they're repurposing that building. So Chester and Hester is all gone. The old excavation, the sort of dinosaur-themed playground, all gone. The old entrance gone, the bridge, the dinosaur bones, the alligator habitat, all that was over here. Now all that's left is Restaurantosaurus, and then back there, still untouched for the moment, Dinosaur. Oh, look at this little concept artwork on the wall over here for what Dinosaur will be transforming into a brand new Indiana Jones ride with a whole new tropical Americas theme. I love it. Here's the view of that same spot in current day. Dinosaur is still intact. The Dino Institute is still there, but it's crazy that we're gonna be standing here not all that far away in the future, staring at a new temple for us to explore with our old pal Indiana Jones. Of course, back here by the Dino Institute, they also have Daisy Duck still visiting with people, dinosaur-themed Chip and Dale meeting and greeting, hugging all the fans. It's sad to think they'll never have any occasion to wear these costumes again, right? Dinosaur, Chip, and Dale are gonna go extinct. It makes me wonder, where are they gonna put all their Christmas stuff? Because those are the sort of Christmas-themed characters back here. Well, I mean, Dinosaur, Chip, and Dale are around all year, but look at this. This is where they have the meet and greet for Santa Claus. You come to the sort of back porch of Restaurantosaurus, and Santa Claus is back there taking pictures with all the good girls and boys. It was always the easiest thing to fit any kind of theme you wanted to in Dinoland USA, because it always felt like a remote but modern part of America, right? You could wedge anything in here, any kind of celebration. So not only do I wonder what the new tropical America's land is gonna look like, but I wonder what they're gonna do in the holidays for it, you know? They're gonna have to come up with some Nuevo Navidad ideas. So anyways, yes, Dinosaur is still left standing. It is supposed to close in February of 2026, which means this is probably the last time I'll ever have a chance to ride it or even look at it. Although if you're interested in Dinosaur, we filmed it many times before, sometimes with some pretty fancy low light cameras, which are pretty much the best view you're ever gonna get of it. It's dark in there. I don't know if I'm gonna be hopping on board today. I'm certainly gonna try to get one last ride before I leave and head back to California. Today, I mostly wanted to scope out the scene. I really can't believe how much it changed just in 5 or 6 months. Stay at Animal Kingdom here for just a little bit. By the way, you'll notice Restaurantosaurus also decked out for the holidays on the front side. And anyway, then I have an even more important mission to achieve. If anything I could be doing at any of the parks here in Walt Disney World, we gotta head to the airport later and pick up somebody very special. Dude, I've always loved Restaurantosaurus. This is the first place I discovered their allergy menus at Disney World. One of, if not the first place I ever had the gluten-free chicken strips and fries that I always enjoy when I'm here. I don't have them any other time of year. Our friend Maddie, who's now a big important manager at Disney World, started out working here in the college program. My son always loved this restaurant when he was little. I have memories of him and Allie and me here. I eat here on every single trip, including this one I'm about to eat in here right now. Just got away for my phone to buzz in my pocket telling me the mobile order is ready. Again, not the most transportive, oh, you've traveled to another world theming like you get from other lands and other Disney theme parks, or even in this theme park. And people used to criticize this place heavily because like this could be anywhere. This could be at Universal, it could be at any theme park. I mean, there's not much that screams Disney at you as you look around the lobby here. I mean, other than a couple of shots from Fantasia, but I always liked it with so much Disney in Disney World, especially back before they bought Marvel and every other type of company and expanded what it means to be Disney themed. I always thought it was just kind of a cool break from the normal of Disney World, which is far from the normal of normal. Oh, I'm gonna miss these rooms, gonna miss these dining halls here. The story is, of course, that they have the Dino Institute over there, and students would come out to study and work at the Dino Institute, but to make ends meet while they're doing all of their fossil digging, they would work at and bunk in Restaurantosaurus. You can still see the bunk beds up here in this loft. There's a little reading nook over there, a couple of books and a chair. Most of it is sort of hidden from view up there, but you get just enough of a peek that your brain tells you, oh, people live in here. You can see in sort of their rec room, you got the shuttlecock net, what's it called, badminton thing up there. You got some of their books, basketball hoops. I've always loved that you can eat in their old Airstream style trailer with the old school booth and the little jukebox in here. You got like sort of diner style chairs and tables, the old neon sign. You know, like this is where the student archaeologists live and work. And you know that's like their after hours hangout spot. But it's cool, they got all kinds of just fossils and dinosaur charts, everything you can think of that a group of student archaeologists might have inside their restaurant and inside their quarters here at Restaurantosaurus. Plus, you have the main dining room over there with a very similar type of theme, but this is more like something you would see at a national park, like Dinosaur National Park. You got the huge fireplace over there. You got these amazing dinosaur chandelier light fixtures, right? Very classic American attraction, hotel, dining. You understand what I'm trying to say. And then back there, you have some back rooms inside the Quonset hut. These are usually leftover World War II surplus huts that appear all over America. They were just cheap, fast, temporary buildings. And then off the side of the Quonset hut, these rooms here are themed out like fancy expedition tents. You have a whole bunch of fossils and stuff they dug up from their archaeological digs, some canned food, some supplies, some beans. I think it didn't translate for a lot of guests because, I mean, like I said, a lot of people used to really criticize this. Oh yeah, I forgot they have a little lounge, a little bar area back here now, cocktails. So it wasn't always like the most popular place in the park. A lot of people criticize it. It's cheesy, it's cheap. It's neither cheesy nor cheap. It's very well thought out. I guess the theme just didn't land for people. It's probably why most people are super stoked it's being replaced with Tropical Americas. I'm stoked too. It's just that I always had a soft spot for Dinoland USA, like I said, and especially Restaurantosaurus. And this little guy up here. All right, got the food, got the kids one. It's the only one that was available on mobile order, but it's probably better if I eat less of this stuff. Gonna cool off in the AC in here, and then we'll continue our little tour momentarily. This is gonna sound ridiculous, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I just had a little twinge of sadness there as I finished my food because I was realizing, you know, this might be my last meal at Restaurantosaurus. You never know. I know there's some kind of people out there that are gonna say, that's ridiculous, that's stupid or whatever, you know, deal with it, time marches on. That's just it though, you know, like time does march on. You can't hold on to your kids when they're little, 2 and 3, you can't keep that forever. Your wedding day, your first date, the good old days back with old chums you don't talk to anymore, or traditions with your grandparents that have long since passed away. It's all those little things. And whenever any kind of thing like this happens, I mean, yes, it's just a restaurant at a theme park of all places, but it's a place that I've made many memories, friendships, family memories. And it's weird, you know, you can't always decide what hits you know, what punches you in the feels a little bit, but this one got to me a little bit, just in the sense that truly nothing lasts forever. Life is short, life is finite. I'm not guaranteed the next hour, much less the next day, the next week, the next few years. So while yes, I do look forward to the future, I still think it is extremely important to stop and reflect on the past, and especially because reflecting on the past and how it's gone forever, in the right headspace anyways, makes you stop and appreciate the present. This moment will never come again. All we have is now, because one day we're all gonna be nothing but a pile of dirt. Squirrel! Okay, so maybe that connection seems strange to some of you, right? A theme park restaurant making you think about your own mortality or the preciousness of life. I don't think it's that weird, but I guess that's because I'm pretty weird. Nothing makes me appreciate life, nothing makes me feel more alive than remembering death. And we do that far too little these days. All right, I was just heading back across Discovery Island to make my way over towards Africa when I had a rare polar bear sighting. See, I told you there were polar bears out here. They basically rotate all different kinds of animals here throughout the day, which is kind of nice because normally I don't have a reason to sort of check back in this part of the park except when I'm, coming or going. Love seeing all the little animal enclosures of flamingos over here. And if you like that, you ought to see this. Look at all the otters in there squeaking, chirping, hanging out together. Like any other type of zoo, it's hit or miss whether you actually see any of the given animals. Like, look at this. You never know what you're gonna see. What kind of monkey business have we got going on here? Whew, it's warming up considerably now. The weather has been a lot cooler than coming to Orlando, say, in the middle of summer like I was here last time. We've even had some pretty cold nights and a couple of cold days, but it's Florida. Suddenly, out of nowhere, at any time, any day or night. Mostly it's been nice, but it's Florida. Any time of day or night, it could suddenly get hot, humid, and sweltering. You could literally start your mornings here sweating to death and then have to put on Under Armour by mid-afternoon. You just never know. Anyway, we finally made it to Africa, and look at the unique Christmas decorations here. Talk about recycling. Talking about one man's trash is another man's treasure. Harambe is decorated for Christmas with all kinds of weird stuff. Look at this over here at the Tusker House Restaurant and Bar. Check out the garlands here, little African gourds and instruments, little tiny bells right here, and your classical American Christmas lights. Stuttering a lot because I got a mint in the corner of my mouth. And the Dawa Bar over here has got all kinds of unique little African-themed Christmas ornaments. And then I don't know how well you can actually see it up there, but you see this sort of garland going across the road there, that wire with all the streamers on it. Just have every color and pattern of cloth, all kinds of rags and strips of things up there, just creating this wild, colorful palette. And look over here at the little stage area, same thing applies, right? Like, they've got all kinds of cool, recycled, strange decorations. And the cool part is, every piece of it looks like it could have come from Harambe. Like, it all looks like something that could have been washed up or recycled from an African port city. I'm particularly enjoying the wreaths and all the other little pieces of flair here made out of recycled bottle caps from different beverages from around the world. I mean, there are a lot of Coke products included in there. I see Sprite right here, a lot of Guinness actually too. Ooh, I like this one over here. You've got your sort of wreath made out of bottle caps in the center, this like basket woven Julio right here. You got a little chicken action going on. Strips of sort of upcycled tassels and cloths. I don't think these are authentically from Africa, although you never know with Animal Kingdom, but they are supposed to mimic the everyday upcycling that you find in real African marketplaces in Kenya or Tanzania. I'm assuming if the holiday decor here in Harambe in Africa in Animal Kingdom actually came from Africa, we'd see a sign or somebody out here shouting about it. So I guess we have to assume these are pieced together in Burbank, California or Glendale. But still, I think it's super cool. The way that, 28, 29 years after Animal Kingdom opened, they're still dedicated to the actual look of sort of equatorial or sub-Saharan Africa. Keeping Joe Rohde and his team's vision alive for a place that feels grounded in reality and actually tries to capture the texture of everyday life in developing countries. You know what I mean? Kind of gives you a glimpse into the way other people from around the world would have to decorate for Christmas. And not that I'm trying to go all hippie on you, I love the kind of folk art recycling way of doing it. Because if you think about it, they can't just walk into Home Depot and buy brand new decorations every year. Like, if you're living in the real life equivalent of Harambe, you might not have access to a brand new plastic Christmas tree every year, so you're gonna make one out of any kind of bits and bobs and leftover pieces you can. Like, look at the penguin made out of bottle caps right there. And I kind of weirdly find this extremely appealing. I mean, I like folk art as it is, but also just the mentality, you could live in a very underprivileged part of the world and still want to decorate and celebrate and do it in your own unique style with what is available to you. And it's a good reminder for us that grew up here in America, because even the poorest of us had access to a lot more than people in the developing world have. We run around here stressing out that we're not keeping up with the Joneses with our Christmas decorations or with our presents. Is it $5 for Starbucks enough? I don't know, maybe I'm reaching here a little, but it's kind of a good reminder, that this is not what the holidays are all about. I don't know a lot about how they celebrate Christmas in Africa or what the typical African Christmas decoration looks like, but I have to say, it's cool that Animal Kingdom at least gets me thinking about it. Like, what the heck would tropical African Christmas decorations look like? And yes, they do celebrate Christmas in Africa. When you're in school, at least in the United States, you hear a lot about Kwanzaa. Most people don't know that Kwanzaa was invented in 1966. You also think a lot about Islam, and there's a lot of Muslims in Africa, that's for sure. But before Islam, actually the majority of urban Africa, so the big cities and population centers, were Christian going back, thousands of years. And as different governments and places and cultures sort of took over North Africa, a lot of that was actually pushed down south. And so while there's certainly all kinds of sort of tribal traditions and stuff like that down there and different kinds of religions, there's still a lot of Christmas celebrating that goes on all throughout Africa, and it has its roots going all the way back to the beginning, literally way before places like Western Europe were Christianized. So although, yeah, I mean, if you grow up in Minnesota or somewhere, you don't typically think of Africa and Christmas together. Christmas is for everyone, even atheists, I suppose. All right, we're now sort of on the Caravan Road, a pun very much intended because that's the name of that food kiosk over there, over here from Africa into Asia, which I suppose makes that wall the Middle East. Looks like the Feathered Friends in Flight bird show back here has just got out, because boy, would you look at the size of that crowd. And over here in Asia, the one part of the world that doesn't really have, well, it has some, but not too much Christian tradition. They've got all kinds of other festive decorations, somewhat based on like festivals like Diwali, different Indian and South Asian traditions like that. So you've got all these colorful kind of flower garlands and beads and bells and lanterns, mixed in with the colorful prayer flags hanging on the banyan tree. Colorful prayer flags is a hard thing to say. Try to say that 10 times fast. I'm trying to head over into Asia as fast as I can now, because I'm not sure how much or even if or when I'm gonna head back to Animal Kingdom on this particular trip. And I wanted to at least recon the whole place, get a feel for where Animal Kingdom is at currently, just in case I don't make it back on any other day. But I don't have much time now, as pretty soon I'm gonna end this long, lonely week of loneliness and pick up the wife, the beautiful queen of my heart, from the airport in a little while, right during rush hour. We planned poorly. I know I say this every time I'm at Animal Kingdom, but I love how much hand-painted detail there is, how much sculpting and carving. You turn a corner and there's a piece of an old pillar on the ground there for you to sit on. Little signs and advertisements, each one had to be designed and hand-drawn or painted by someone. And whether it's the, giant temple ruins of the Tiger Trek, or the little monkey island here, or the very carefully sculpted to look wild landscaping, or the hand-painted signs, both practical and decorative, or even just something like this light pole right here, recycled from an old antenna with an old fan up there, and you can see the little glass insulators and wires. Each and everything here was just so carefully designed to have a real world feel. They can combine the actual park infrastructure with something that just looks like it was from the Anandapur Regional Irrigation District. Look at these buckets left here, this old weird, brass pot? Or this rarely gets talked about. Even the borders of the walkways, meant to look like dirt roads, will have weird pieces of flagstone. Then just talking about the floor itself, look at all the animal tracks and different types of tire tracks scattered around through here. Different pieces of brick or stone or tile, designed to look like they're cracked or weathered by the centuries, or maybe they got covered with mud. I know there's probably more people blown away by the fantasy of the Magic Kingdom or the sheer splendor of Epcot's retro futurism, but I love Animal Kingdom just for all this level of detail everywhere. Every time I come here, I'm wandering around looking at the hand-fired bricks, the weird stone walkways, the carved monkeys, buildings that look like they've been having ongoing repairs for 500 years, or ones that are still under construction, like the Yeti Palace Hotel over here. It's been opening next season for so many seasons, but it looks like they're still working on it. I mean, their tools are still out here. I also love the little shrines by the side of the road here in Asia. I mean, the level of detail, it's just astounding, mind-blowing. It's the one good thing about when I come to a theme park by myself, with no real agenda and nobody with me to distract me by talking about what ride are we gonna go on next, I find myself able to spend a lot more time looking around me, right? I have a rule, especially in Animal Kingdom, that I never look at my phone if I can help it when I'm by myself. I try to only pull it out when it buzzes or when I'm using it as a camera, and in that way my brain is always on the park. Recently, actually, Disney has said they've noticed that too many people are looking down at their phone, especially between attractions or between lands. And as we've been discussing, these are carefully designed, themed environments, and I believe one of the Imagineers or presidents or whoever was talking said something along the lines of, all this stuff is so carefully designed, and when you have to look down at your phone, it really breaks the spell. The problem is, how do you put that toothpaste back in the tube, Can you even get that genie back in the bottle ever? Because Disney are the ones that put Wi-Fi in the park. parks and invented the stupid app for you to check wait times or look at the map. Pretty much the only way to get allergy-friendly food, at least in my case, in a timely manner is to mobile order it. And then you have reservations, fast passes, you know, or now lightning lanes and all kinds of add-ons and things and schedules. I mean, I'm glad to see that they're thinking about that, because I have certainly noticed that when I keep my phone away as much as possible, I am far more immersed in the environments they've created for me here. And it really has been like something's missing ever since they invented the app, you know. And then with my phone in my pocket, this isn't Disney's problem, more like a self-control issue. There was a while there where I noticed I was constantly pulling out and looking at my phone. And I'm not even talking about in line. I'm talking about just walking around out here. I'd be looking at Instagram or something. It's like I could do that in my bed. Yeah, I know. You really shouldn't be doing that in your bed either. But you know what I mean? I could be anywhere if I'm just looking at Instagram. It does make things challenging for me, if we could get personal for a second, the fact that I make, you know, content, films, whatever you want to call them, that goes on the internet. Now there are more and more and more studies about how short form content, especially scrolling and doom scrolling, really rots your brain. And even though it's very, very bad to not have, you know, much short form content out there these days, otherwise how's anyone going to find out about your stuff, and blah, 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 goes against everything they tell you. I've really tried to avoid making that kind of stuff and be very conscious about what I put out there, being something not only wholesome, family friendly, but also, you know, hopefully somewhat educational or edifying, or at least entertaining, relaxing, interesting. Whoa, things almost got very interesting there. I almost fell down those stairs. I definitely consciously try to think, you know, if people out there are giving me their time and attention, then I feel like I have an obligation to make, you know, as little brain rot as possible and hopefully make something good for the brain, although I must say it's challenging when, you know, my own brain isn't all that great. I'm not the smartest, most moral, or wisest person in the world. Point is, I do what I can. I do what I can. All right, I have to leave very shortly to get Allie, and a nice cast member I know offered me a fast pass on Expedition Everest over here. And wouldn't take no for an answer. So let's head up the Forbidden Mountain before we leave to go get Allie. All right, I'm technically a single rider, so I'm gonna have somebody with me. I'm gonna try not to talk too much, but here we go. Off to the Forbidden Mountain. All right, dude, front row seat. One of the best rides ever. Let's see if the eagle is working. I always forget about that eagle up here. Rarely does it work. Most of the time, over here, all you ever see are the cast-off hair ties from all the cheerleaders that come to Walt Disney World throughout the year. Oh, no eagle today, but looks like the track's out. Somebody broke the track switch. All right, here we go. Off to the lair of everybody's mother-in-law. There she is, and she looks upset. You haven't been returning her calls. What were you thinking? Everybody's mother-in-law is enraged. Oh my God! Oh, we got some screamers on this ride. We've got some screamers. All right, into the lair of Disco Yeti. A lot of screaming going on in there. Oh, Expedition Everest. Always a good choice. Dude, that was awesome. I didn't even think I was gonna get on Everest today. So shout out to Anne, one of the best cast members ever, for hooking me up with a journey to see the Yeti. Look at this, look at the theming. Look at the freaking detail in here. It's just the best. Like if you were gonna collect this stuff for yourself, you know, like if you built a Yeti-themed bar in your house, how long would it take you? Obviously, some of this stuff is real that they collected from places around the world. The rest of it, they maybe took some reference photos or some scans and had to create all of this stuff. Just the sheer scale of that project is insane. Shout out to the Imagineers who built this place. Everything from the rides, the details, the scenery, the painting, landscaping, textiles, all the patterns on the pavement, heck, even the designs of the carts and umbrellas and prayer flags, just all of it. Some of us greatly appreciate it. The rest of us probably appreciate it without knowing it. All right, the downside of not checking your phone too often is that you look down and go, oh my gosh, I gotta get out of here. It's time to head away from the Himalayas now, because the queen of my heart, the love of my life, is flying in. And I don't want to leave her hanging the way I left Tuna Tyler all alone at the airport here for 3 hours once.
Ooh, sorry, Tyler.
Now, obviously, there's so much more to do, see, hear, and experience at Animal Kingdom than we had time for today, but hopefully we'll be back soon. After all, we've only just begun to Christmas. We've only just begun to Disney. We're just getting started out here. Oh, dude, that is still so weird to look back at. Okay, let's make our way out of here. You know what? We're gonna have to come back to Animal Kingdom someday because I gotta check out that new Zootopia show. Just wanna wait until Allie's with me. Walking around solo's fine. Most rides, riding solo's cool. But unless you know the seats on either side of you are gonna be empty, sitting solo in a theater with strangers hemming you in, like if you're just sitting in there with strangers on either side of you, you know what I mean? It's kind of awkward to go into a theater alone. I don't often go to the movie theaters alone, but I gotta be honest with you, when I do, sometimes I buy the seats on both sides of me if it's assigned seating, which makes it expensive, which is why I don't go that much. Dude, I have met so many friendly people today here experiencing Christmas at Animal Kingdom than I ever normally do at Disney World. I mean, I meet people every day here. They're like, hey, I've seen the stuff. Everyone today has just been so excessively friendly. So many fun pics. I never mind stopping, saying hello, and taking a photo, so if you see me, wave. And if we take a sick pic, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. Because a lot of times while I'm running around in the day filming, right, like my brain is all full, I'm all bamboozled and overstimulated. Sometimes I even forget it happened, so I like to see the pictures later when I get tagged. I'm like, hey, those were those people with the thing, and we had that cool conversation, you know what I mean? My Instagram name is the same as my name. I am Justin Scard, if you didn't know that already, your friendly neighborhood Randomland host. And looky what we have here on our way out. It's freaking Kevin. Now that is a rare bird indeed. Bye, Kevin. That's crazy. You never know what you're gonna see. I far prefer Kevin to Divine, even though I do like things that are unique and original to Animal Kingdom that you can't find anywhere else. Over like movie IP. Not that I hate movie IP or anything, but I prefer Kevin to Divine because Divine just freaks me out. That was great. I'm not gonna say it's the best though, because definitely the best part of my day is up ahead when I see that beautiful girl coming to me here in Florida. Friday, during rush hour, I got here really quick, like 30 minutes, but it took forever, as long at least, just to find a parking spot. Dude, I so rarely ever come to this airport through anything but the rental car return. It took me a second to figure out where I was going. See, look at that. That's the way I'm used to coming in. Now I know where I'm at. Terminal is a word you love to see when you're traveling, but hate to see in a hospital. All right, now all I need to do is just figure out where she's coming in from, meet her there, go get her bag, and head back to our hotel. Oh, look at that. Even at the airport, you can't escape the magic of Disney. You can't escape it. Whew, I got a ways to walk here. I had to park way down. Oh my gosh, look at that, a Sparrow. I haven't seen one of those forever. Ooh, this is a good reminder to me. I really want to see what's going on at Epic Universe for its first Christmas. Speaking of Christmas, look at this. Even the airport has got a little Christmas theming inside. Look at the size of that Christmas tree. Although actually, it looks small in reality compared to this gigantic hotel inside the terminal. Wow, that's awesome. I love how it's still surrounded by palm trees. I mean, it is Florida after all. Dude, I always feel weird in liminal spaces, you know what I mean? It's always a strange feeling that comes over me. Spaces in between spaces. I mean, yeah, this is somebody's place of work, and it's a store, but not really a normal store. You know, nobody comes here just to hang out, although I don't see why. It's a cool enough space. All right, Allie just landed. She is on the runway. They're coming into the terminal. Hey, look at this giant drum this Christmas tree is sitting on. Just gotta wait for her to take the little terminal link over. That's a little, you know, tram thingy. And then our day will be over. Look at this little Epic Universe store over here. I cannot wait to go back. It is indeed a truly epic theme park. To be honest with you, I don't care if they have a single Christmas decoration there. I just want to go to Dark Universe again. Yeah, I got some dreidels up there. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Sesame Street land at SeaWorld here. It's the only time I've ever been to SeaWorld was just to check that out. I'm a big Muppets fan. But yeah, if you didn't catch it earlier this year, we did go to Epic Universe's opening day. So if you want to see what that was like, go back a couple videos. It'll be on this channel. Oh, so weird that they keep using the Mickey from the Mickey shorts, right? The dirty Mickey and Disney stuff. I guess it makes sense because he is on the magical Mickey ride, which is not at all what it's called, but my brain's a little fried right now. The Runaway, the Thing. I always wish it was classic Mickey. I think it's weird that they chose the Mickey from the shorts kind of when those were going extinct. Anyway, I was on the completely wrong side of the airport. Turns out I was in the right place in the first place, so I'm walking back across. Well, at least it kept me occupied. The spaces between the spaces. All right, she's coming through any second now. Any second. By the way, it only took me 23 minutes to get here. Now it says it's going to take me an hour to get back to the hotel. So apparently rush hour will catch up with me, but that's all right. That's all right. Worth it. Worth it. I see her. There she is. Yes. I would know that walk anywhere. You're so cute. Okay, now I'm happy. Now I'm happy. Okay, let's go get your bags and get the heck out of here. Okay, the worst part of getting anywhere is obviously being stuck on the plane, waiting for everybody else to get off the plane and deplane, you know? But the second worst part is waiting for your luggage. But I was just thinking, I can't be the only person who stands out here and thinks, gee, I wish I could ride around on that belt. All right, we got your stuff. Let's hit the road. All of a sudden, I fell down, down, down the rabbit hole. I don't even really know why I'm still filming. I guess I was just so excited to get Allie, I wanted to share my excitement with the rest of you. All right, let's get the heck out of here. Wow, we've got a suitcase dune. Okay, this is interesting, right? Parking, P4, deer, cattle, armadillo, panther. Yet when I was in the parking garage, I saw absolutely no animal signs whatsoever. I think we're in armadillo though, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, now I remember I saw the armadillo before I got on the elevator. I just didn't understand its significance. All right, gang, well, the sun is going down. We're heading back to Disney Town. I just wanted to share my joy at seeing Allie again, but I might as well leave you here and pick you back up for our next adventure. Thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out. Allie brought some Randomland hot sauce with her. I'm so stoked about that. We sold out of the second batch, so none is available now before Christmas, but if you want some to ship to you right after Christmas, you can pre-order it at randomland.com. My book is still there. Allie just picked up a fresh round of hats, so hats are available. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. Thank you for checking out all the links down below, including our Patreon. You've done your duty, so have I. Time to hotel and sleep well. Fancy friends switched hotels today to a fancy resort. Weird. I've never been here before. Perhaps you'll see more of this in the future. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. Go home and sleep well.
Sorry.
How you doing, bud?
I've been attacked. What's this one's name?
This is Shadow.
Shadow.
He's gone.
Oh! Whoa!